Level 90, an auspicious opportunity. Magina has an urgent request to make of you. Ah, Zilly, you couldn't have come at a better time. Do you have a moment to talk? My thanks. You see, a foreign merchant approached the boutique with a proposal not long ago. Hancock of the East Aldenar Trading Company. Perhaps you've heard of him? Ah, so you have a history. No wonder Mr. Tataru declared him unscrupulous and deserving of infinite caution. Though there is risk in dealing with a man of such flexible principles, his knowledge of the Hengen markets would do much to bolster our efforts to make inroads in the Far East. That is why, despite her misgivings, Mr. Tataru seeks to negotiate a partnership, but for some reason or another, he has requested you be present at their meeting in Kugane. Realize business negotiations are not your forte, but we would be most grateful if you'll indulge his request. Of course, there is also the matter of our secret mission. Once it has been fully restored, this gorgeous sapphire will serve as the centerpiece of Mr. Tataru's necklace. I hope that one day she may look upon it as a memento of not only her mother, but of her many dear friends and allies. Perhaps during your visit to Kugane, fortune shall favor us with the discovery of an additional treasure to grace her keepsake. In any case, I believe that covers everything. Mistress Tataru shall meet you at the Ruby Bazaar in Kugane. I wish you a safe journey. Go to Kugane, I guess. Okay, where we go? So glad you could make it. I'm equally thrilled by your arrival, though I expect I must apologize for the sudden invitation. Yes, you should, but more importantly, I'd like to know what the scheme is and how you intend to involve us. Oh my, it's so quick to assume the worst. While I would love nothing more than to lay bare all my dirty little secrets, 'twould be prudent to discuss my proposal first. Though I am to admit it, a draper's shop but recently launched by the company has not been well received by the locals. Our intention was to promote the sale of imported apparel woven by the Old Dawn Weavers Guild. Alas, it seems Western fashion holds little appeal for the citizens of Kugane. So we rethought our strategy. We would produce Hengen couture, but with world-renowned Old Dawn silks, kimono as they are favored choice of wear in the Far East. Or rather, that was our plan until our seamster fell ill. It was as I faced the unpleasant decision of abandoning this venture entirely that I chanced to hear Tataru's boutique and the assorted Far Eastern style equipment they had on offer. You're referring to our samurai ninja inspired sets of armor, yes? Indeed, by putting your exemplary goods on display, the East Aldenar Trading Company would demonstrate that we, a Western trader, are capable of making garments suited to the needs of our local patrons. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I have been informed that you wish to establish a foothold in Hingashi and East Othard. What better way to make your Kugane debut than to have us showcase your quality wares? Not without its appeal, I admit, the perfect venue to gauge interest in our goods. Isn't it just? I may take your grudging concession as a sign of interest. Perhaps we can discuss the finer points of my proposed partnership. Oh, we'll be discussing it at length, but I've yet to see how any of this would require Zilly's involvement. Indeed, I was just about to get to that part. Not long ago, I crossed paths with a group of certain someones who were eager to call on Zilly again. I found myself quite taken with them, charming as they were, that I felt compelled to facilitate this reunion, and of course, one can never collect too many favors. Alas, I know that you are predisposed to question the motives behind any invitation from the East Aldenar Trading Company, and with good cause, I concede. I instead invited you here under the guise of assisting Tataru with boutique-related affair. Hope you will forgive the deception. Rest assured that you shall be rewarded for your aid in this matter with your choice of recompense. Just before your arrival, I took the liberty of informing my new acquaintances that you would soon be making landfall on these shores. They ask that you meet them at Sakazuki in the Ruby Sea as soon as you are able. I believe it is a matter of some urgency, so if you could travel there forthwith. Excellent, I leave them in your capable hands. Don't worry, I'm no stranger to Hancock's tricks. I'll make sure not to agree to anything until we've settled every last detail. Just do what you need to do and return when you can. Apologies, Zilly. I pray you have not been waiting long. Corban. You look surprised. Did Hancock not tell you who requested your aid? But never mind that. I am simply glad that you are here. How have I been? Well, my training as the next Ginbu continues apace. I must tell you, my friend, each day has been more trying than the last. Why, just the other day, the auspices placed 99 wasabi-filled takoyaki on a platter before me and instructed me to divine which single ball out of the entire batch was not filled with that dreadful spice. Training to sharpen my foresight, they claimed, but it felt more akin to torture. By the end, I was reduced to a dithering sea turtle, swimming in a puddle of my own tears. It is all to say, I am only marginally closer to assuming my place as one of the four lords. Get to the point already, Sorbonne. Yeah, I was just about to arrive at that. Come, my friend, show yourselves. It's been some time. I am relieved to see you in good health. I understand you have been through a great deal. The concern is unwarranted. This is the woman who quelled our Aramatara and inherited Tenzin's legacy. There is no trial she cannot overcome. You misunderstand me, my brother, that or you deliberately insinuate that I lack faith in Zilly's capabilities. Enough, we indebted ourselves to the merchant to obtain this meeting. Let us not distract ourselves with this nonsense and get to the heart of the matter. Very well, you may not know this, but Senri's craving for dango often brings her to Kugane. It was during such a visit that she spied a suspicious individual on Kogane Dori. A man who not only wore raiments identical to Tenzin's, but who also claimed to be his long-lost descendant. This descendant was selling good luck charms, utterly devoid of benediction. His ploy is plain. He uses Tenzin's name to trick fools into buying his rubbish. Any who would dare sully Tenzin's name shall face my wrath. My flames will cleanse him of his sin and burn his soul to ash. Too merciful a punishment, I say. I shall personally render him unto him every pain imaginable. By the kami, is it possible they have both succumbed to their Aramatama once more? The charlatan boasts of more than his esteemed heritage. He also claims to have the four lords at his beck and call. Insulting, yes, but I would still rather resolve this without flames and torture. But having lived apart from men for so long, I fear we may be ill-equipped to do so on our own. Hence why we have turned to you for assistance. You needn't agree to anything just yet, but why don't we all at least seek out this descendant and take his measure ourselves? Beg your pardon, putting myself aside, the three of you approaching any settlement, let alone one as large as Kugane, would surely cause an uproar. Calm yourself, Sorbonne. You forget we are the four lords. 'Tis a trifling matter to assume less conspicuous guise. Let us reconvene in Kugane. Sorbonne is to go first, while we three shall make our own approach separately to avoid attracting undue attention, just in case. It would seem we have managed to arrive with little fuss. Like their outfits. But only the kami know how long our presence will remain secret. Begin with the needless worrying. Our disguises are perfect. None may suspect you are the four lords at first glance, but you are suspicious in the extreme. We could have used our power to assume the form of men, but those of keen sight would still be able to discern our true nature. The costumes were an innocuous alternative. There's nothing innocuous about them. Senri said she found the swindler on Kogane Dori. Yes, let us head there at once. Gather round, friends, gather round. As you have no doubt surmised from my crimson armor, I am the proud descendant of Tenzin, the famous hero of Eld who once slew an entire host of fearsome Oni. Do not take my word for it, behold. In this hand I hold Tenzin's beloved katana, the Phoenix Blade. I don't know what it looks like, but if he's got the Phoenix Blade, then he must be who he claims. Yeah, totally checks out. Idiots, the true blade has remained in our care since Tenzin's passing. Something seems off. I see, there are some who remain unconvinced. Very well, you leave me no choice. Allow me to introduce you to my sworn allies, the Four Lords. Oh dear, I'm almost afraid to look. That's your signal. I expect my money's worth. Introducing Ginbu, the Turtle Auspice and Foreseer of Calamity. Shizaku, the Avian Auspice and Master of Flames of Resurrection. Kiryu, the Dragon Auspice and Devourer of Young Maidens. Last but not least, adorable, we have Yako, the small and fluffy feline auspice. Why am I alone, a cuddly creature? Surely you could have hired a Rothgar or Makote to portray me. At least he did not slander your character. Devourer of Young Maidens? Pah. What is this rabble? All who've heard the tale of Tenzin know that the Four Lords are beasts, not three mummers and a cat. These are the glamoured forms they assume so they may roam the realms of men undiscovered. Surely you can imagine the chaos that would ensue if they went about undisguised. Even so, there's no way they'd wear such ridiculous outfits. And yet here they are, dressed in far worse. This farce is infuriating. I will not abide him making mock of the bonds we shared with Tenzin. We are of one mind, my sister. He must be silenced. Does Tenzin even have a descendant? There was nothing in the legends about him fathering any children. But there was mention of one who loved him more dearly than life itself. I, the woman to whom I owe my storied lineage, is none other than the sublime crimson beauty standing before you, Suzaku. Let him speak. Perhaps he is not wholly deserving of immolation. Ah, how easily your rage is quelled. Having proven my ancestry to your satisfaction, my lords and ladies, I bid you partake of my good fortune, for I have auspicious wares to share with you today. Tenzin put countless oni to the sword long ago, 'tis true, but only by the grace of these miraculous good luck charms. Just one will confer unto you all manner of fortune, good health, a happy family, scholarly achievement, financial success, romantic fulfillment, and much, much more. But that's not all. Perchance a charm now, and I'll even throw in a stylish strap featuring a four lords design of your choosing. My stock is limited, so be sure to buy while supplies last. I'll take 2. No, 10. My blood boils to see Tenzin's good name used in this manner. As does mine. We cannot sit idly by and allow this to continue. I think our purveyor of good fortune is in need of a proper scare. Are you convinced as well? He seemed quite pleased with himself as he packed up his stall. Business was good, no doubt. How shall we proceed? With care and preparation, we all saw how deftly he countered accusations of fraud. More clever approaches needed. Must limit his ability to spin more lies. Have you any ideas? I could present myself as Tenzin's true descendant. The presence of the four lords should be more than enough to convince him. Oh, indeed. Our very existence alone is enough to prove his claims false. Then it is settled. You shall play the role of Tenzin's true descendant, and we shall accompany you. With us at your side, the impostor will have no choice but to confess his crimes. Still, we would be wise to prepare for contingencies. With me, Sorbonne, we make for Ryzen Temple. It is up to us to find and confront the swindler. Are you as you are familiar with the city, I bid you lead the way. Speak with Suzaku when you are ready. Discussers may have seen where he went, so let us begin by questioning them. I would also know more of this true identity. Of all the heroes of legend, why claim Tenzin's name? The answer may help us stop him without resorting to violence, since some of you apparently lack the stomach for it. Suzaku and Seiryu are now accompanying you. Keep them at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave your quest companions behind by entering a different area or by speaking with them and selecting the option to part ways. If you wish to have your companions join you again, return and speak with them at original location. Kami be praised to have met Tenzin's descendant and get this good luck charm besides. What a fool I was to doubt him, he who commands the four lords of legend. As long as I have this, fortune shall surely shine upon me. Oh, has my good luck charm caught your eye? If you wanted one for yourself, you are sadly out of luck. The merchant selling them said it was the last of his stock, and he did not think he would be able to acquire more. But if you wish to hear it from him, he was headed towards Tasagare Bridge. You will know him by his attire. I swear he was the spitting image of Tenzin from the storybooks. She speaks of yonder bridge, does she not? Others may have taken note of our quarry as he passed. Oh, but we could have went inside. Have I seen a man claiming to be Tenzin's descendant? One who was selling good luck charms by the dozens, you mean? No, he didn't come this way, but Kami give me strength. I'll never understand how some can be so gullible. Let's continue our search elsewhere. Well, 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 look who it is. It's been quite some time. What brings you to Kugane this eve? Hawker claiming to be Tenzin's descendant. Probably Issue. I saw him not long ago. Yes, yes. You know him? My peculiar and suspicious friend, there is no merchant in Kugane who hasn't heard of the entrepreneur. He's made a fortune masquerading as Tenzin's heir. It's a brilliant scheme, very profitable. Tried to get in on it myself, but the Baron will suffer no competition. Who is this Baron of whom you speak? Soy Sauce One. Who else? Kageyama. Dangerous man, yes, yes, with fingers in every pie. I fear him almost as much as I envy him. The deception must be exposed. What can you tell us of Ishu? How many times do I have to teach the Baron the same lesson? It's like he's his hands in everything. Oh, you have had dealings with him, have you? If you know, then you know. Issue, on the other hand, is still something of an enigma. A skilled seamster dedicated to his craft, yet he partnered with Kageyama. I never would have guessed he had it in him. There's more to this than meets the eye. We must investigate further. Have you any idea where Issue may have gone? You want information? Yes, yes. I want coin. Give me coin and I'll give you information. It can be arranged if you are willing to journey to Risen Temple. Our friend Fury can escort you. Temple, and one I've never heard of at that. Wait, is this the sort of place where mortals fear to tread and malevolent spirits do dwell? Malevolent spirits? No, no, just a somewhat ominous crystal. I'll take your word for it. As for Issue, he came to me and requested passage to the Isle of Beko, where he was to rendezvous with Kageyama. I refused. Better to not involve myself in the Baron's affairs, you understand? Yodo, was it? You have our thanks. We shall fulfill our end of the bargain. You need not fear. There's no time to waste. I shall have a messenger instruct Byako and Soraban to meet us at the Isle. Ishu and Kageyama will want to keep away from prying eyes, somewhere near these rocks, perhaps. Let us take cover and eavesdrop on their conversation when they join us. Ha 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 ha! Fine day's work. Ishu, it pays to have fools for customers. Master Kageyama, please, this cannot continue. I shudder to think how the four lords would react if they learned of our crimes. Remind me, who was it who delivered you from life of destitution after you lost your job as a seamster? Pray tell, who? You, Master Kageyama, and I am forever grateful for your help, without which my family would be without house and home, but even so, what we are doing is wrong. Want to wash your hands of this dirty, dirty business and be a seamster again? Is that it? But once the truth comes out, and I would see that it does, who would dare trust you? No, Issue, you're going to continue the act, or you and your kin will starve in the streets. But that's the way of it. Issue was coerced by Kageyama into this performance, and for his family's sake could not stop. Indeed, in the light of this, how shall we proceed? We help Issue, of course. We put the fear of the Kami into Kageyama. Who are you, and why are you wearing such ridiculous outfits? Hearken to me, mortal. I will suffer you to sully Tenzin's name no longer. Defy me, and you shall not like the consequences. Sully Tenzin's name, you say? His flesh and blood are free to do with it as they please. Unless you can prove that Issue is not in fact his descendant, I suggest you get out of my sight. Then prove it we shall. Tilly, here. It is time we revealed our true selves to these mortals. Kami forfend. It cannot be. That flame-kissed katana you hold in your hand, is that the Phoenix Blade? For the crimes you have wrought in Tenzin's name, your punishment will be severe indeed. Beg not for mercy. Take heart, my dears, I shall make your deaths painless. Hearken to my melody. There's no turning back. Steel yourselves. Yeah, somebody, anybody, help me. But what was that? Not only do you possess the Phoenix Blade, but the four lords themselves stand at your side. Tell me, are you Tenzin's descendant? Please, have mercy, I beg of you. I vow to never again use the name of your ancestor. You have my word. Tenzin's behest, I once played the role of a ferocious tiger to frighten the peoples of a village and drive them to flee before they were buried in a landslide. He took part in the deception as well, but to be honest, your acting put his to shame. Have you considered auditioning at the Mujikoza Theater? Honored lords and lady and descendants of Tenzin, I know not how to make amends for my sins, though actions speak louder than words. I wish to say that I am truly sorry. Man or beast, we all make mistakes. I am told you are a master seamster. I might not go so far as to say master, but with my skill I managed to put food on the table. Then perhaps I shall have a word with an old friend. That can wait, Zorban. We must escort this young man to a safer location. This is far enough. It is past time we returned home. We are once more in your debt. It is because of you that this affair could be concluded before Tenzin's reputation suffered irreparable harm. Thank you, Zilly. Now that you are no longer bound to Kageyama, what will you do? Well, I know I must take responsibility for my actions. I will confess my crimes to the Sekusegami. After I am released from my imprisonment, I shall take up an honest trade once more and not rest until I have repaid each and every victim of my deception. Ah, yes, I had been meaning to tell you, but I will let Hancock explain when he arrives shortly. Dreadfully sorry to have kept you all waiting. Ah, speak of the devil. And the urchin girl came as well. It has been far too long. Looking green as ever, Soroban of the Blue, and once again, Gimbu, that's Tataru, though I'm sure I'll have to remind you next time, too. Your issue, the seamster Soroban spoke of, yes? If it is gainful employment you seek, the East Aldenor Trading Company would be thrilled to hire one of your expertise to work at our draper shop. Seamster in our service fell ill, and we've been looking for a replacement. I have no words. I am grateful, truly, but I cannot accept, for once I confess my crimes to the Sekusegami, they will surely imprison me for a time. Ah, yes, the Sekusegami. I had a chat with them not long ago. They are aware the scheme was contrived by Kageyama, and that you, too, are one of his victims. You will be required to assist them in their investigation, of course, but you needn't steel yourself for even a brief incarceration. Hancock, you have our thanks for calling Zilly to our aid. Oh, no, not at all. I am pleased to have been of service. I have not forgotten our arrangement. Have you decided upon a reward? Oh, how that warms the heart. A material to help restore the keepsake of a dear friend. I have just the thing. I won't spoil the surprise now, but do look forward to it. I suppose we had better return to the city, but before that, you could have called upon me too, you know. It's not like I wasn't part of the whole saving the Ruby Sea from becoming consumed by roaring flames endeavor or anything. Oh, forgive us, urchin girl. Tataru, we assumed you were busy. That, and you did struggle mightily to help Zilly restrain Soroban that one time. So there was some concern that you might prove a liability should it come to blows. Nevertheless, we will take your words to heart. Perhaps we should assume our guises and walk among men more often. It was a refreshing change of pace on the whole. I would not be against it. We were in a bit of a rush on this occasion, but with a longer visit, we might better appreciate men's curious ways. I have no doubt we shall meet again, but I pray that the time comes sooner than later. You and me both. Till that day, I'll be sure to stop by the temple later. I will consider that a promise. Now then, I say we resume Sorbonne's training upon our return to the temple. Must we so soon? You did well to apprise Hancock of Issue's predicament. He may now make amends by putting his talents to good use and continue to provide for his family. Indeed, 'twas behavior befitting one destined to become the next Genbu. Road ahead is long, but we doubt not that you are worthy, and so we want only to encourage you to reach your full potential. That is how you all feel, then I have little choice but to do my best. I can still hardly believe the Sekusegami only wished to question me. Master Hancock must have a way with words. Speaking of which, I believe he and Mistress Tataru will be joining us shortly. Issue, you will be pleased to know that I've just finished making arrangements for your immediate employment. May our profits soar that you may give your family the life they deserve. Master Hancock, I do not deserve such kindness. I will do my best to earn my keep. I want you to know that I intend to work hard to make up for the many mistakes that I've made. It is not much, but I have prepared a gift for you as an expression of my gratitude, a set of garments that I made before I was embroiled in Master Kageyama's schemes. The lords and ladies of Kugane once held my work in high regard, and I hope you will as well. You also find a little something for me included within, a well-deserved reward. Wait, what exactly did you give Zilly? Payment for introducing the East Aldenar Trading Company to prospective new clients. What else? Can't say I'm surprised you would try to peddle goods to the four lords themselves, but still, have you no shame? Regardless, now's as good a time as any to inform Zilly of the result of our deliberations. Said result being, we have agreed to an official partnership with the East Aldenar Trading Company, one which I exploit for all it's worth to make Taru's boutique a household name in Kugane. Ha ha ha, for my part, I pray this is the start of a mutually beneficial partnership. To business, I would have a tour of this draper shop of yours immediately, if you don't mind. Sorry to cut things short, but my time is money. Time is money, and I have precious little to spare. Once you've seen it to any other unresolved matters you have here, I'd be grateful if you'd return to Old Charlie and inform Magina of our new arrangement. Welcome back. Negotiations with Master Hancock were fruitful, I hope. Well, I expected nothing less from you and Mistress Tataru. From Mistress Tataru's necklace, you say Master Hancock slipped a gift into the parcel you received from Issue. Yes, may I have a look? My goodness, what a stunning set of garments. They certainly offer a taste of the Far East. As for the item Master Hancock set aside for Mistress Tataru's necklace, by the sisters, black pearls. Do you have any idea how rare these are? They can only be harvested from black-lip oysters in the Ruby Sea. I cannot be certain until they have been incorporated into the necklace, but I believe the darker shade will serve as a contrast to the brilliant sapphire centerpiece and make it stand out even more. Part with such precious treasures, Master Hancock is either very wealthy or very well connected, or both. It would do well to maintain a good relationship with the East Aldenor Trading Company. That is the boutique's concern. After all you have done for us, I'm sure you want nothing more than a good rest. Thank you again for your continued assistance. When next we discover a client we'd like to add to our ever-growing list, I hope we can count on your assistance once more. Level 90, an auspicious opportunity, complete. We try him on. We look. Not bad. Level 90, aggressive expansion. Magina would like you to make a special delivery. I've been meaning to speak with you. Mistress Tataru mentioned the most astonishing thing to me earlier. Is it true you aided in the liberation of Werlet? I see, so you fought the weapons of the 12th of 7th Legion alongside none other than the Black Wolf himself. Well then, that makes you the perfect candidate for our next job. You see, we're planning to send our latest samples of military equipment to Werlet's interim government. Since Gaius Belsar oversees such matters, who better than his sister-in-arms to pitch our wares? Word has it that the Werlet forces are in the process of choosing a supplier to outfit their troops, so we're keen to throw our hat into the ring. So would you be willing to assist us? I'd be happy to. It would be a good opportunity to speak with Gaius. I'd be happy to. Hear Gaius talk enough. Wonderful. I can't thank you enough. If my sources are correct, you should be able to find Gaius in Turncliffe. If you chance upon any potential adornments for Mistress Tataru's necklace, please do bring them back with you. Do you believe in yours? You may travel to Turncliffe by speaking with the Resistance Escort in Port of Pretoria, located in the Locks region of Garabanya. Heading to Turncliffe? Travel to Turncliffe, yes. I was not expecting you. Are you perchance aware of the ongoing situation? What situation? Actually, I come bearing a delivery from Taru's boutique. Samples of military equipment. You have my thanks, but there is a more urgent matter that requires my attention. Received a report that the G Savior Mark II has been stolen from the hangar here in Turncliffe. In fact, I am here to speak with an eyewitness. If you are willing, I would like you to join me. Your insight may prove useful. Thank you for coming at such short notice, and with Zilly no less. As luck would have it, she decided to pay us a visit on other business. Owing to our present crisis, however, I had her accompany me here. Tell me, is it true the Mark II was stolen? I'm afraid so. While I was performing maintenance on the Mark I, I caught sight of a man approaching the Mark II and looking very suspicious. Our culprit, in other words. I called out to him, demanding he state his business here, but when he turned around, my heart nearly jumped out of my chest. The man who stared back at me was Valens van Varo, I'm sure of it. Possible. Breathe this last before my very eyes, unless the dead walk among us, that simply cannot be. I only know what I saw. Though he wore a visor, the likeness was unmistakable. Even his magenta armor was identical. Pray forgive the interruption. I bring urgent news. These former captives of the 7th Legion insisted they speak with you. Please forgive us, Father, or Father, he... Calm yourself, lad. You are safe now, I promise. Now, tell us what happened. Father, Valens came back and told us to show him where the War Machina are. We know how to get in here, so we sometimes come for a peek at the big machines. And after telling Valens how to sneak inside, he made off with the G-Savior Mark II. Given what you boys have been through, I know how difficult it must have been to confess what happened. Your bravery is commendable. Now you had best return to the orphanage. Fear not, we will deal with this so-called Valens. Though I highly doubt he has returned from the dead, if that War Machina has fallen into the wrong hands, the consequences could be catastrophic. We must give chase and swiftly. Will you lend us your aid? You have my gratitude. We will set out to reclaim the G-Savior Mark II as soon as you are ready. Pray inform the Ironwork staff when you have seen to your preparations. If you're to stand a chance against the G-Savior Mark II, you'll need to fight fire with fire. Luckily for you, we've already fueled the Mark I, which is ready to dispatch at your command. Or the G-Savior, yes. G-Savior Mark I's automated piloting systems currently have us cruising towards Garlemald. The perpetrator truly is Valens. I am all but certain he is making another attempt to seize the Imperial throne. After all, that is precisely what he hoped to achieve with the Diamond Weapon after the death of Emperor Varus. He did not succeed then, nor will he succeed now. I want you to pilot the G-Warrior to make sure of it. If I am entirely capable of taking the helm myself, I must concede that your skill outshines my own. Instead, I will provide support from the rear cockpit inside the containment apparatus. Valens may have had a head start, but I am confident we will overtake him once we have the engines at maximum output. Then the rest is up to you. Upon entering the cockpit, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. To the cockpit, yes. Heat signature detected 3,000 yalms to the fore. Readings are unmistakable. It can only be the Mark II. Ideally, we would shoot him down before he can detect us, but doing so would destroy the vessel and him with it, making it impossible to identify the culprit. Our only choice is to draw near and neutralize the vessel's propulsion systems, even if it means alerting him to our presence. I beg to differ. Someone has wormed their way into our frequency, but this voice, it couldn't be. Oh, but it is. My, how long has it been, Lord Belsar? Nero. As I suspected, Nero Tolskeva. So the rumors were true. You survived the battle at Castrum Meridianum and now work as an engineer under Sid? Work under him? Clearly you were misinformed. I'm merely using my unequal talents to save the poor fool from his own ineptitude, and now I'm here to do the same for you. He's great. Do enlighten us as to how. It's simple, really. I've crafted an armament that will immobilize Garland's wretchedly designed vessel. I've even given it the appropriate name. I call it the Anti-G. Expecting this day would inevitably come, I took the liberty of loading it into the Mark I's weapons bay in advance. You're welcome. Now, adventurer, listen and listen well. What I'm about to tell you will be the key to sinking that scarlet vessel, and while I found the idea of its destruction unbearable, it is nevertheless the perfect opportunity to prove who is the superior engineer, Garland or myself. Do put on a good show. In the following sequence, you pilot the G-Warrior. Time your inputs with the on-screen prompts. When a blue prompt appears, left, you time your input as the diamonds overlap. When the yellow prompt appears, right, make several rapid inputs until the prompt disappears. The controls are as follows. Gamepad, all buttons and directional buttons except menu. Like a rhythm game. When I activate the homing interface, you are to lock onto the vessel immediately and fire a barrage of anti-G missiles. The moment our quarry is aware of our presence, he will undoubtedly take evasive maneuvers. The anti-G is a flawless achievement born of scientific genius, but that is of no matter if it misses its target. You understood? Homing interface activated. Commence bombardment. I dare say you're a natural. With the apparatus's propulsion engines neutralized, our quarry is defenseless. What are you waiting for? Capture him. No, he's not finished yet. So the cornered brute still had some fight left in him. I trust you can show him the folly of his perseverance. He's not going anywhere. I can stop him. It'll all work out somehow. Yeah. Next fight. Excellent work. Quickly, we must go after him. What cruel irony that the vessel should crash here of all places. Surrender, there is no escape. It's you, Gaius. And who are you? What do you mean? I'm Valens, the man destined to inherit the Imperial throne. Very well, we will do this the hard way. Him, it's Valens. This man is not Valens. I don't remember what his eyes look like, but I don't think he had chromia. I will not soon forget how Valens' face froze with fear in his final moments, how the light in his green eyes extinguished alongside the flame of his life. Yet the resemblance is uncanny all the same. I will not ask again, who are you? Answer sincerely or atone for your sins with your life. My name is Procopius. I served as a pilot of the 7th Legion under Lord Valens' command. When I reviewed the 7th Legion's records, I saw no mention of there being another of his kin within its ranks. Your face, surely not. That's right, and I would gladly do it again. Were Lord Valens to become Emperor, his life would be under constant threat. This is my expression of devotion, my willingness to sacrifice myself in his name. It's just a double. To go so far as to change your own face. Why steal the Mark II? Like your master, I presume you wish to use it to ascend the throne? The throne is but a means to an end. My true aspiration is to embolden the people of the shattered remains of Garlemald to rise up once more and take what is theirs by birthright. Only we Garleans are fit to inherit this star, herding the cattle masses as we milk them for all they are worth. This is the way it should be, just as Lord Valens envisioned. In the words of Emperor Solus, no lands must remain beyond our grasp. Go forth, conquer, rule. The ravings of a madman. Lest you wonder, I have not killed him. We have recovered the Mark II and apprehended our perpetrator. Let us return to Turncliffe. My thanks for lending your aid despite the suddenness of my request. Children will be able to rest easy knowing the impostor has been captured and the vessel reclaimed. That said, you were here on other business. Let us delay it no further. Level 90, aggressive expansion, complete. Level 90, forever in our hearts. Gaius is ready to discuss the samples you brought. Now, could you enlighten me as to why you came to deliver clothing samples? An enterprise founded by a former scion, with you acting on their behalf. Clearly the equipment is of fine make, and I and my associates will give it all due consideration. Still, I confess I am rather surprised to see the champion of Eorzea doing so mundane a task as delivery. This Tataru must command a great deal of respect. An adventurer takes everything in stride. Delivery, skyfishing, traveling to the farthest edges of the universe. It is unwise to refuse the coin keeper of the scions. To hear you speak so, she is clearly not one to be trifled with. I shall heed your words should I ever meet her at the negotiating table. In any case, I believe your errand here is complete, but if you are willing, there's another I would ask of you. Boys are doubtless still unnerved by what happened earlier. I would assuage their concerns, make it clear to them that Valens is well and truly gone, but it cannot come from a Garlean like myself. Could I prevail upon you to tell them in my stead? Thank you. I believe you will find the boys near the storage area. Pray give them the good news. Oh, you're back. Please, miss, you have to tell us what happened. So you got the machine back. You're amazing. If that man was just pretending to be Valens, does that mean the real one's not coming back? Yes, he's gone for good, my dear. Pray remove any thought of that wretched man from your mind. Thank goodness. Even now I see his face in my dreams every night. I'm always so afraid. I want to tell Miss Allie, but I know I mustn't. She's been through so much. You haven't heard? Allie's been helping out at the orphanage. She's been taking really good care of us. But we don't want to worry her. Could you keep what happened a secret? We heard that Valens did awful things to Miss Allie, too. Please, we don't want to bring back all those horrible memories. Thank you, miss. You're the best. Say, you know Miss Allie, right? Do you think you could help us? We want to make her wish come true for being so kind to us. We heard that she dreams of having a portrait of her family. We think it'd be nice if somebody painted one for her. But besides Mr. Gaius, her family is gone. We could describe her siblings to the artist. Perhaps we could somehow manifest their likeness for the artist to see. We did that bit with like the ghost and stuff, right? Yes, that could work. Leave it to me. I may have just the thing. Really? Then we'll fetch the painter. Well, I thought we'd end up going to the guy in Ishgard we met. Did you tell Miss Allie and Mr. Gaius to meet us at the lookout? I shall take a leaf out of Nero's book and prepare a surprise of my own. Pray meet me at the lookout once you've spoken with Gaius and Allie. Tilly! Forgive me, I didn't know you'd be visiting. What brings you here? Children said they wanted to do that for me. That's very kind of them. While it's true that I've spoken of this on occasion, family portraits just wouldn't feel right without Melisandre, Recon, Rex, and Alphonse. Still, it wouldn't be right to refuse. They're only trying to cheer me up, after all. I'd best go and meet them at the lookout. You spoken with the children? If Valen's atrocities left scars that may never heal, his victims will be relieved by the news. It is heartening that they should wish to perform such an act of kindness for Allie. Very well, I will do as they ask. I shall meet everyone there shortly. They are on their way then? Perfect. I have made my own preparations in the meantime. All that remains is to wait our models and our steam portraitist. Oh, it is him. Okay. At least I didn't have to go get him. Gaius, Allie, would you mind standing over there? Make sure you draw her nice and pretty, mister. Did we do it right? Are we making her dream come true? But yes, I think you've made her very happy, but we cannot ignore the fact that Gaius is not her only family. I know, but everyone else is gone. I wish we could have done more for her. Don't worry, child. As I mentioned, I prepared a little surprise of my own. Look, Allie. They're all here. Well, I understand you're surprised. You'll have to sit still for the portrait, I'm afraid. Thank you. We're so happy Miss Allie's wish came true. Thanks for helping us, miss. We wanted to thank you too, so we got you a gift. We found them on the beach with our friends at the orphanage. They're our greatest treasure, a pair of pretty pink shells. We better go now, but we hope you like it. Gina may find the shells a beautiful compliment to Taru's memento. Return to old Charlene and show them to her. Welcome back. How did you fare with Gaius and Turncliffe? My goodness, not only did you help him recapture stolen war machina, but you even helped fulfill his daughter's dream. I'm not sure whether I should be in awe of your ability to solve problems or offer my commiserations for encountering so many in the first place. But that is simply the lot of a distinguished adventurer. Reminds me, were you able to procure a new adornment for Mistress Tataru's necklace? My, they're simply remarkable. These must be the fabled rose shells of Wurlet. I hear they're both rare and beautiful, making them the perfect choice for various types of jewelry. If we polish them up and make a few refinements, I'm certain we can incorporate them into the necklace. Ah, there's something else in this package, a rolled canvas of a portrait. It looks like it must be a gift for you. Owing to your kind assistance, I believe we are in the running for forging a contract with Wurlet's interim government. There could be no more desirable result for the boutique. You have my heartfelt thanks. Level 90, forever in our hearts, complete.